everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing really well. Today you join me for a decluttering video and we're taking on Christmas decorations. You might be wondering why I'm decluttering my Christmas decorations before Christmas and not after, and I actually think it is a really useful and helpful thing to do to declutter those Christmas decorations that have been hanging around and that you don't use so much before Christmas, so that you don't have to worry about doing it in the new year. And the perfect time to do it is just after you've put your Christmas decorations up. This year I've decided to go for a really minimal Christmas look. So you can see my Christmas tree just there. It has got gold lights on and gold decorations and then some wooden effect ornaments. And then I've got really just a few items dotted around the room. I've got a cushion behind me, a garland above the door, and then a couple of wall decorations to the side here. I've really been enjoying the minimal look I've decorated my house with this Christmas, and I use the term house loosely because really all my decorating is just this room. I wanted to keep it minimal, simple, and that cozy feeling I have achieved here in the living room, which is where we will spend most of Christmas Day. And so I really didn't feel the need to go and decorate all the rooms around the house, particularly the ones upstairs. Decluttering my Christmas decorations is kind of a two-step process. So the first part was taking out any decorations I thought I might use that would contribute to the look I was going for, and then anything else I didn't use I put back in one of these two boxes here, because if I'm not going to use them this year, there's probably a good chance that I'm not going to use them again. And then the second part is basically what I'm going to be doing today. So of all the decorations that I took out that I thought would be useful in decorating my space, I didn't go ahead and use them all. I didn't want it to be really cluttered, so I really only went with a few key pieces that I really enjoyed. And then again, the rest were returned to these boxes. So now I know that there are things in here that I've not used this year. There are things in here I may have used this year but decided not to in the end, and now I need to go through and declutter anything that I don't think I'm going to use again. Now I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to get rid of absolutely everything. There are a few sentimental items in here, so I might keep a few, or I might keep a few that I feel like I might use in the future, but I'm really going to try and be tough on myself and declutter as much as I can. Okay, I'm going to start with the box which mostly contains the items that I didn't even consider for this year's decorating. So hopefully I'll be able to be a bit more ruthless with these and just get rid of a lot of them. The first thing I have actually doesn't go into that category, and this is just a plain stocking I have. I thought I might actually go ahead and use this. I actually used it in a video, but in terms of actually hanging it on the wall, I don't need it. My husband and I both have stockings that we use. This was really more of a decorative piece, and that just feels a little bit pointless, so I'm gonna let this go. Alright, now into the box. So the first thing I'm seeing is this light up Christmas box. It's kind of like a wooden plaque. It says Christmas on it and it's got Christmas trees and reindeers on it. You put some batteries in, it lights up. It is really sweet. I used it last year. I think I put it out on one of my units to the side here, but I didn't put it out this year because I felt like I had enough going on, and so I didn't really need it. And I think I'm going to feel the same about this in the future. It is kind of boxy and you do need a really good space to put it in. It looks lovely, but I think I'm gonna let it go. Ooh, off to a good start. The next thing I have is this little, it's got a picture on the back. It's a light up glass heart, which is decorative. My mum did buy me this. It was quite a few years ago and it just lights up. But it's never come out of its box. I thought it would, but for some reason I've just never used it. So based on that, I'm gonna let it go. Some bubble wrap and tissue paper for wrapping things up. Now that's a keep, you must keep that to wrap things up. Okie dokie, my next thing is hopefully that's clear. My next thing is a tree ornament from HomeSense. It's got Chicago written on it, and I thought this would be quite nice because I started very briefly collecting tree ornaments from places I'd visited around the world, and for some reason when I was in Chicago I didn't get one, and then not long after I stopped collecting them because I figured this could be one of those things that just keeps going and going and going, and I might live to regret having loads of ornaments that I feel very sentimentally attached to and that I can't get rid of them. But I didn't get anything in Chicago, so when I saw this in HomeSense in the UK, I picked it up thinking it could kind of be like a stand-in for a lack of Chicago ornament. But again, another one that hasn't been out of its box. It didn't go onto my tree last year, even though I think it is really beautiful. I just haven't used it, so it can go. The next thing I have is basically a selection of tea towels that are Christmas themed. So I have two that look like this, and then I have snowflakes, Christmas trees, and then just plain red and green. I just don't think I'm going to use these. You know, you've got to wash them before using them, and with the colours you've got to be careful that they don't run. It's just easier for me to go ahead and use the ordinary tea towels I have. I understand it's nice to have these out. I could see having them out and not using them, but that just seems really pointless to me, and the tea towels I have are fine. I don't really need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Christmas tea towels. In fact, I don't think I even need one. Okay, this next item I'm not sure about. I might have to hold on to it. So it's just a little sweet jar, or I suppose cookie jar, and it has got just a Christmas tree design on the lid. This was also from HomeSense. I might put this out and put some sweets in it or chocolates or something over Christmas. I'm gonna leave this on a maybe pile. I'm not sure. I'll pop that there for now. The next thing that can definitely go are these tree ornaments. So we've got C and A for myself and my husband. I did put these on our tree last year, but I'm really not feeling the red at Christmas anymore. So no, they can go. I've then got two tree ornaments that have got sort of Christmas tree branches or holly leaves and things like that inside them. I put these on my tree last year, but honestly this year I just feel like they look a little bit tacky. They're not really the vibe I'm going for, so they can go. I'm loving how this is going. I must apologise for the lighting, by the way. I had a really busy day, and when I got home it was about 2:30 and I hadn't had any lunch yet, and I thought that I could really rush my lunch and then rush to get the video done, but then the lighting would change halfway through because it would get dark halfway through. So I thought, no, we'll take it easy, I'll enjoy my day, and then when I'm ready to film I will film. It's just, it is now the evening, it is completely dark out, and so all the lighting is artificial. So I apologise that the lighting isn't great, but I would rather take my time and not rush the video. The next one I have is a Harry Potter 9 3/4 Christmas decoration. This, I don't think it went on my tree last year. There would once have been a time where I would have been so obsessed with the idea of having like a Harry Potter themed Christmas tree, or anything themed Christmas tree, and having just all the things that I really used to enjoy in life, like whether it was movies or books or games or TV shows or places and things I've done, like a tree just covered in things like that. And now that's just not what I'm about. I would rather just have something very minimal and very simple. So another thing that can go. I'm totally keeping the tissue paper out of there though. So the next item I want to show you is just a hanging decoration. It says it's the most wonderful time of the year. I put this up last year around my door frame, but again, it's not something I feel overly attached to. I think it's fine that I let this go. I'm not really bothered about it, so done. Okay, this one I got in a sale about 4 years ago. It's another hanging plaque. All I want for Christmas is, and then U is crossed out, and it says food. I feel like I hung this in my kitchen last year, or maybe I leaned it up on the worktop or something. Again, it's not really an item I'm that bothered about. I think that's going to be quite a common theme with these items. This has also got a sticker mark, you know, when, because it was in the sale, it had like a red reduction sticker on here, and it was a bad one to peel off, and I spent ages like having to try and peel it off, and it left like a sticky patch on here, which is just not good, and you can see it. I don't know if you can see it there, but I can definitely see it in real life. So this can go too. You know what this means? I'm probably gonna have another car boot, and that's probably gonna take a while. Oh, this just means there's going to be boxes in my garage of things to go places, like things to donate, things to sell, and oh, we did so well getting the boxes to be nearly empty now. It's just going to be the same situation again. Okay, this one, you might be thinking, what a boring decoration. So this is a hanging decoration. I got this in a sale for 50p. My actual intention was to use the other side because it's plain and do something like paint it, write my own message on there. I never got around to doing it, and that was probably about 4 years ago. So I think that means I'm probably not going to do it. So do I keep this? I mean, when I've got the time, I can be quite artsy and craftsy. But then if I did do anything on here, that means I've got to find somewhere to hang it. And do I want anything else hanging in my space, whether it's Christmas or otherwise? Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe it for now. I'm loving that it's only maybes so far and no definite yeses. Oh, now this I love. This I will be sad to let go of. So this says, don't get your tinsel in a tangle, and you put batteries in it and it lights up and it hangs. This is really cute. I don't think it has batteries in. No, it doesn't. I usually take them out at the end of the season because why wouldn't you? Oh, I do love this, but I think someone else will probably love it more. And so maybe I can just donate it, and you know, if someone's got a gap somewhere and they need something little to fill it, this is quite a nice item. I do think it's lovely. I just don't think it's for me anymore. It can go. Now the next thing is tinsel. I must admit, I love the smell of tinsel. I don't know what it is. The smell of horrible plastic, maybe? Who knows? Well, so I have tinsel in traditional red, gold and green, and I used to wind this up the banister for our stairs. Back when we lived in my mum and dad's house, our bedroom was basically the attic, and we had stairs that went up to that with the banisters with the actual like wooden poles. And so we used to wind this up the banister and up the stairs, but now where we live, our banister runs up a wall. There is no way to wind it. I could wind it around the handrail, but again, is that something I really want to do? I'm sure I'm sounding like a massive Scrooge right now. It's not that I don't love Christmas. I do love Christmas and I love decorating. It's just this isn't really what I'm going for anymore. It's not the calm and cozy aesthetic I really want, and I don't feel any inclination to go ahead and put tinsel up. This is the first year ever I've not put tinsel on my tree. Even as a child, when I had a little tiny tree in my bedroom, I would put tinsel on it. I was always one of these people that was led to believe you had tinsel, and tinsel went on your tree, and this year I just haven't. I can kind of see having a tree with just tinsel on it, but it almost feels like it would block out some of your nice ornaments. So I'm done with the tinsel. The tinsel can go. It's a lot of tinsel. All right. Okay, so in here I have got a couple of little Christmas serving plates. Now I know for a fact these are the only 2 Christmas serving plates I have. I did have Christmas themed dinner plates, and I decluttered those when I did my 30-day minimalism challenge video. I can't remember the name of it. And so I might hold on to these. These would be nice to put out on Christmas Eve, maybe with some little snacks on. So I don't actually feel too bad about keeping these. They were also handed down to me. They were my mum's, and I just really like them. So those I'm actually going to keep. And I don't think that's a bad thing. You've got to remember when you're decluttering, you are allowed to keep things that you like, that bring you joy, and that you think you'll get the use out of. Our first keep item, our first definite keep item. Right, I'm going to put that on there. Good start. Okay, empty carrier bag, that's good. And then in there are my 2 pumpkins from Halloween. So my goal is to get all my seasonal decor, whether it's Christmas, Halloween or whatever, into one box. So I have got 2 pumpkins in there already. Right, now in this box, there are just some little odd Christmas decorations, like this one's a cake. I have a little sweet. I have a little mushroom. So there's a couple of bits and pieces in here, but I actually don't think I'm going to keep any of them. So job done. Right, that's the first box out of the way. Now that was the easier box because in this one, these are the things I took out this year with the intention of putting them on my tree, but I didn't. So now the game is really on. So this is just an empty box, but the ornament that goes in this box is actually on my tree. So that's a keep. Empty box, that can go in there. Right, so my first rule this year with decorating is that I didn't want to keep any generic green baubles. I said I think you get enough natural green from the tree that a green bauble really doesn't add anything whatsoever. So all my green baubles can go. And we can use this old Quality Street tub for the ones we're getting rid of. I've also got a few of these green glittery ones. They can also go. Okay, this is an item I know I'm going to keep. So this is my crown tree ornament. I didn't put it on this year, but I did last year. I think it's beautiful and I can see myself using it again. I think maybe if it just so happened that I decorated the tree in a different order, like you sort of place things in a particular way and then if it looks good you don't want to mess with it or you don't want to add too much to it. It was just the case that when I got around to picking this one up, I'd already felt like I'd got enough on my tree. It wasn't that it wouldn't have matched, so I'm going to hold on to this one because, well, I just think it's gorgeous and I think I would use it again in the future. Ooh. Then I've got another green tree ornament. Again, I'm not loving the green and to be quite honest, I'm not loving the silver either. I'm very much more into gold these days, which is strange because when I was a child, I would have always had like blues, silvers, really cold colours for decorations. I was definitely more about cold colours than warm and now I'm all about gold. I have a couple of the acorns that went on my tree. I just felt like I put enough of these on, but I don't want to get rid of any from the set. You never know, one might break, so it's always good to have a couple of spares, so I'll be keeping those too. Likewise, I have a few spares of the bells I put on my tree that I'm going to hold on to. Then I've got some stars. Now, these came in a set with some glittery ones. The glittery ones I put on my tree, but I thought these were a bit bland and boring, so I'm gonna let these ones go. I like the fact that the ones with glitter, when they caught in the light of the fairy lights, they really sparkled. These ones don't, so I don't need those anymore. Likewise with just these plain gold baubles. I kept the ones that were glittery, I put the glittery ones on the tree, the dull ones I think can go. And then I've got this little mushroom decoration who I'm going to hold on to because he's just so cute. Again, this could go with the wooden vibe I'm going for. I think it's the same situation with the crown. Just by the time I got to it, I felt like there was enough on the tree already, but that doesn't mean I don't like this one and that I wouldn't use it. So I'm gonna hold on to that. I've got a big snowflake tree ornament. It's kind of like twisted wire with string around it. In fact, it's a little bit coming loose there. But again, this is another one I really like and I would use again and I'm going to hold on to. These two, despite the fact that they are wooden, I'm just not a fan of these and I think they can go. I think I bought them because I knew I was going to go for this wooden sort of countryside, natural sort of feel, but the sort of thing I ended up going for, let me show you, was more like this one, and I think this has a whole other level of natural and wooden compared to these. That's not the same sort of thing, so these I'm going to get rid of. This is the sort of thing that I've kept on my tree this year. Ooh, now I've got to put it back. Now in here are just more generic baubles. I'm going to pull out this one glittery one. I must have missed this one because that didn't end up on my tree. But then the rest are greens or those plain dull golds again, which I don't need. I did think of doing sort of an on the table display with these. I've seen people sort of put them in bowls and have like decorative baubles on the table, but I don't really think it's something I want. I think what I've got is enough, and so these can also go. I might keep the tubs though. The tubs are good for storing things in, unless I have empty spare ones, in which case they can go. These I am keeping. So these are just some fairy lights in the shape of acorns. I didn't put them up this year just because I didn't think I needed them. Last year they went around my door frame, but this year I just didn't really find anywhere for them to go. But I do really love them and I can see myself using them in the future, so I'm going to keep them. This next one's a definite keep. This is a Christmas ornament in the shape of a pencil. I thought this was really cool. I got this from the Bronner's Christmas shop, but I can't remember where it was. Hold on. It was the Bronner's Christmas Wonderland in Michigan, which I went to in, I think, 2011, and I bought one decoration from there, and it was this pencil. I haven't put it on the tree because I didn't think it would really go, but I love it, and there's no way I'm getting rid of it. So we're keeping the pencil. Made it all the way back in my suitcase. My parents always bought tree ornaments when we were on holiday, and it was always just like a relief when you open your suitcase at the end and it got home safely. Oh, keep these. Just a few of the little things you use to hang baubles on your tree. Keep. Another gold one. Again, very similar to the crown situation, just I'd got enough on my tree by the time I came round to this one, but it's great. It's a statement bauble, I think, and I'm gonna keep it. I like it. Oh, see, the keep pile is now growing. There's getting to be more stuff on there. Empty. Empty. Next, I just have a couple of felt decorations that I actually made a few years ago. I'm not putting them up this year, but I do really like them, and I was really proud because I'd never sewn anything before, and I saw someone had done something very similar on Pinterest, and I just tried to recreate it myself, and this is what the result was. Really like them. Going to hold on to those. I have a string of gold beads. Now I think these are quite an old-fashioned thing. Like, I remember these being on our Christmas tree when I was growing up in the 90s, so yeah, I don't see myself putting beads on my own Christmas tree. I think these would probably be something from my mum, but no, I don't need those. I've got two furry pom-pom decorations, which again, I think I bought because I thought they'd really feed into that whole natural looking tree decoration, and I'm just not about these anymore, so these can go. And lastly, we made it to the bottom. I have got one thing of sort of a pale gold tinsel, and these are what went on my tree with that tinsel last year, and that's this sort of gold leaf. I don't even know if you'd call it a streamer, what you'd call it, but I really like these, and I'm actually going to hold on to them because I feel like in the future I could use them maybe to frame around something, not necessarily put on my tree, but to put up somewhere. So I'm going to keep those two, and I think just in case, and I know it's the very non-minimalist thing to do, I'm going to keep one piece of gold tinsel. And that is everything. So I'm going to chuck it all back in, hopefully one box, and I'll show you what I'm keeping, I'll show you what I'm getting rid of. So everything I'm keeping fits into this box, and I think there will still be plenty of room in here for the decorations that are currently up to go in. When I am finished with them after this season. So that's looking good. If I can keep all of my festive items, all my decorative items, I've got my Halloween pumpkins in that green bag there, all in one box, I think that's great. I think one box for all the decorative items for the holidays is pretty good going. And that leaves one completely empty hamper here, which I guess means, without even realising it, that's another item that I can declutter. So that's just a hamper that can now go to another home and isn't taking up space in our garage. And then we've got a few packagey bits over there, but then we've got the baubles we're getting rid of. Not getting rid of my phone. And all of this pile here, which I must admit isn't the tidiest pile in the world, is all the stuff we are going to be getting rid of. So I would say that maybe half, maybe even more than half, yeah, I would say more than half actually, is what we are getting rid of. So I am really pleased with that. And that is all from me for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you are doing your own declutter, then it's absolutely okay to hold on to a few of those sentimental items if they mean something to you. But if you want to go ahead and declutter some of your Christmas items, maybe now is a really great time to do it. I hope you have a lovely week and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and drop me a comment. See you next time. Bye.